I'm Matthew Weiner, the founder and developer here at Handcrafted, and in this video, I'm going to go over wholesale on Handcrafted from a seller perspective. Now, if you're a customer who's interested in wholesale, I'll leave a link to a video in the description below that goes over wholesale from a customer perspective if you'd like to learn more about that. Now, as a seller, you're aware of wholesale and how that process underpins this entire industry. It's the means by which makers sell instruments to shops and how makers purchase parts and supplies at special rates. And there's a lot of friction involved in these processes traditionally. There's developing relationships with shops and discovering makers. There's traveling around the country demoing instruments. There's filling out needlessly, stupidly complicated applications to get access to portals for special pricing. And this is what we wanted to address. We wanted to make things simpler, as is our goal with just about everything on Handcrafted. So what I'm going to do now is kind of go over the whole process of a seller as listing an instrument for wholesale, how to set the pricing, how to delegate whether you want something only available for wholesale or available to everybody, and also for wholesale, what the whole negotiation process looks like after somebody submits a request to purchase wholesale and approving the purchase and all of that. So here we go.
All right, so I've created a sample product here for my Cool Violins shop. It's an underwater violin, because who wouldn't want a violin that you can play underwater? So this window on the left is going to be my seller window, and the window on the right is going to be the customer window. Now you can see in the customer window that since I just added this product, it's showing up as you'd expect with the $9,000 price, and there's no indicators for wholesale. But let's say I've decided I want to list this violin for wholesale as well. I'm going to come over here to the edit page, close this out, and go into the pricing section. And I'm going to enter a wholesale price for this instrument. Now I'm not going to check either of these now, but I'll show you what they do in a minute. So I'm going to go down and save. And now when I come over here and refresh the page, we can see that it says available at wholesale. Now you can't see the wholesale price right now because I'm not logged in. Now let's say that I want this instrument to appear only for wholesale customers. So this not logged in user shouldn't see the instrument at all. I'm going to go back here to pricing and check wholesale only. Now I'm also going to mark this allow offer price checkbox, and I'll describe what that does in a few minutes when we get there. So I'm going to go down and save this again. And when I come back over here and refresh, you'll see that the product disappears because I'm not logged in as a tax-exempt user. Now the same thing would happen if I was logged in as a regular customer who doesn't have tax-exempt status. So now I'm going to go up and log in as a customer who does have tax-exempt status. And you'll see that this product now has the retail price crossed out, and it shows the wholesale price that you just set. So now as a customer, I decide that I want to buy this at wholesale. I'm going to go into the product, and you'll notice that instead of the regular add to cart and home trial buttons, there's instead this request purchase button. Now keep in mind that if you marked your instrument as available for home trial, it's not going to be available for home trial when it's being viewed as wholesale. That's because the wholesale negotiation and approval process isn't really compatible with the home trial process as it exists right now. So just keep that in mind. Now the reason there's a request button instead of add to cart is because, as I alluded to, this wholesale process allows negotiation. As a seller, you need to be able to approve whether you want somebody to buy at wholesale. Maybe you have existing relationships with shops in a specific region, so you can't sell to somebody who's in that region. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to request purchase. Now this is the form that shows up. Now you can see when I checked that box over here for allow offer price, that shows this field to allow the buyer to put in a price that they want to negotiate. if you don't check that box, this offer price section won't show up at all. So just keep that in mind. I'm going to put in an offer price so you can see how it works. But again, if this wasn't checked, this field won't be here at all. And I'm going to include a message to the seller. I'm going to say, I want to purchase this violin. Then I'm going to request purchase. I'm going to say OK. And you'll see now that on the customer side, there's no longer the request purchase button, but instead an indication that a purchase request already exists. So what I'm going to do now is view the purchase request by clicking here. And this is similar to what you'll see on the seller side in a moment. But it's basically just information about the purchase request, what the offer price was, what the product was, who the customer was, and when it was created. Now you'll also see this view messages conversation link. So if we click here, it takes us to a purchase request chat conversation in the front end of the site. So that you can converse with the customer about the purchase, negotiate pricing, determine who they are, if you wanted to sell it to them, whatever. And you can see in the side, they're talking with us, the owners of the Cool Violins chat. Here's a link to our shop on Handcrafted. Here's a link to the product itself. And here's a link to view the purchase request, which is the page that we were just on a moment ago. So I'm going to pop back on the seller side of things. And if we go back to the front end, we'll see that we have new notifications. And so we'll click on messages, and we'll see that we have two purchase request messages. We have a new purchase request from Charles Mingus to purchase this violin. So we'll go in and we'll say, okay, great, and send it. And let's say we want to deny it. If we don't like the offer, we could send them a message and negotiate, or we could just deny. I'm going to say, okay, I like the offer, and say accepted price of $4,000, confirm $4,000, and accept. And we'll see that over here on the customer side, they get another message that the purchase request has been accepted. Now, this link will allow them to purchase the instrument. Just like any other order on the site, they'll be able to pay with credit card, bank transfer, financing, or whatever payment method they choose. Now, keep in mind that you and the customer will both be receiving updates this entire time. You'll receive an email when you have a new purchase request or any new purchase request chat messages from customers. Customers will receive emails when you send them new chat messages or you approve or deny their purchase request. Now, one last thing I realized I need to mention after filming the customer wholesale video was how to view your outstanding purchase requests from the seller dashboard. And all you have to do that is come down to purchase requests and click that. And that will show all of your past and present purchase requests on Handcrafted. And that's it. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you have any questions about wholesale purchase requests or anything else on Handcrafted, please drop us a line and we'll help you out the best we can as quickly as we can. Happy selling!